ਜਮਸੀਗੀ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ। ਮੇਰਾ ਨਾਮ ਪਾਸਟਰ ਗੁਲਾਮ ਮਸੀਹ ਹੈ। ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਕ੍ਰਿਸਚਨ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਵੋਕੇਸ਼ਨਲ ਬਾਈਬਲ ਸਕੂਲ ਲਾਇਆ ਹੋਇਆ। ਬੱਚੇ ਗੇਮਸ ਖੇਡਦੇ ਨੇ, ਖਾਂਦੇ ਪੀਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਲੋਟ ਆਫ ਫਨ। ਅਤੇ ਇਹ ਪਾਸਟਰ ਕੈਰਲ ਮਸੀਹ ਹੈ। ਅਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਯੂਬਾ ਸਿਟੀ ਕੈਲੀਫੋਰਨੀਆ ਤੋਂ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ।
ਇਹ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਆ। ਖੁਦਾ ਬੜੀ ਆਸ਼ੀਸ਼ ਤੇ ਬਰਕਤ ਦੇ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਬਾਈਬਲ 'ਚ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਛੋਟੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਬਾਈਬਲ ਬਾਰੇ ਦੱਸੋ ਤੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਉਸ ਰਾਹ ਤੋਂ ਕਦੀ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਖੜਨਗੇ। ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੇਮਾਂ, ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਟੋਰੀ, ਬਾਈਬਲ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸੋ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਮੀਦ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਖੁਦਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਆਸ਼ੀਸ਼ ਤੇ ਬਰਕਤ ਦੇਗਾ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਵੱਡਾ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ।
ਇਹ ਬੱਚੀ ਵੀ ਰੋਜ਼ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਆ, ਇਹ ਆਪਣਾ ਖਿਆਲ ਦੱਸਣਗੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਖਿਆਲ ਹੈ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦਾ।
ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਅੱਛਾ ਲੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, ਬੱਚੇ ਇੰਜੋਏ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ, ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਇੰਜੋਏ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਸਾਰੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਵੀ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਛੋਟੇ ਵੀ, ਭੈਣਾਂ ਵੀ ਆ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਬੱਚੇ ਵੀ, ਸਾਰੇ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ, ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਧੀਆਂ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਸੇਵਾ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ। ਭਾਈਆਂ ਨੇ ਸੇਵਾ ਕੀਤੀ, ਬੇਟਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਸੇਵਾ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ। ਖੁਦਾ ਦਾ ਇਹੀ ਪਲਾਨ ਸੀਗਾ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਅੱਗੇ ਹੋਰ ਵੱਧ ਕੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਇੱਥੇ ਹੋਣ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਤੇ ਬਜ਼ੁਰਗ ਤੇ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਵੀ ਇੰਜੋਏ ਕਰਨ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਲੈਣ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ।
ਅਨੀਤਾ ਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਰੋਜ਼ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ। ਅਨੀਤਾ ਵੀ ਆ ਕੇ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਅਨੀਤਾ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੁੱਛਾਂਗੇ ਅਨੀਤਾ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਖਿਆਲ ਆ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਬਾਰੇ। ਬੱਚੇ ਇੰਜੋਏ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਸਿਆਣੇ ਵੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ।
ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਅੱਛਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਹੈ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਲਈ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਿੱਖਣ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੁਝ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਆ। ਸੋ ਨੰਬਰ 1 ਥਿੰਗ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ, ਰਲ ਕੇ ਖੇਡਣਾ, ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਖੁਦਾ ਦੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਸਿੱਖਣ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ encouraging program. This is a very encouragement program. They learned a lot. My kids learned a lot, and they're having lots of fun. And I'm just happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
ਬੜਾ ਅੱਛਾ ਹੋਇਆ, ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ।
ਰੈਡੀ ਹੋ ਜੀ? ਓਕੇ, ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਲੱਗਾ?
ਮੈਂ ਸਰਦਾਰ ਮਸੀਹ ਪਾਰੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਜੋ ਪਾਰੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਕੰਮ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਚੁਣਿਆ, ਪਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਦਿਲ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਅੱਛਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਵੀ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਬੱਚੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਘਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੈਠੇ ਮੋਬਾਈਲ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਤੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਦਿਨ ਟਿਕ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਬਿਹਤਰ ਆ, ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਹਤਰ ਆ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਕੁਝ ਸਿੱਖਣ ਔਰ ਬਾਕੀ ਵੀ ਦੇਖਣ ਪਈ ਮਤਲਬ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ। ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਮੈਂ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਸਾਰੀ ਜਮਾਤ ਦਾ ਔਰ ਪਾਰੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ, ਦੋਨਾਂ ਪਾਰੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਿਸਿਸ ਦਾ ਔਰ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਿਸਿਸ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਛੇ ਕੰਮ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਲਾਇਆ ਹੈਗਾ। ਜੈ ਮਸੀਹ। ਉਹ ਕੀ ਲੈ ਗਿਆ?
Okay, next one, you guys. Next one is nail polish.
मैथ्यू कैंडी
Oh, did he?
कैंडी खा गया
Good job.
रखने ਨੂੰ दिल नहीं करता
Break. Break.
ब्रेक बुलाओ
Your turn.
सॉरी मैथ्यू ने इंग्लिश नहीं आती सेन पंजाबी तो
Lotion.
लोशन पंजाबी च भी लोशन ही Are you okay? तो दौड़ के जाना उड़ के नहीं Are you okay? Please up. Oh, he is strong man. कुछ नहीं हुआ। इतना कर कुछ छेती छेती पट के Let her do it. उसमें चीज डालता नूडल सॉरी नूडल है नहीं डॉक्टर भी आए ਹੁਣ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਫੜਾ ਦਿਓ ਬਾਬੂ ਹੁਣ ਮੈਥਿਊ ਨੂੰ ਭੇਜੋ ਸੋ ਅੱਗੇ 50 ਵਾਰੀ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਆ ਸ਼ਾਬਾਸ਼
Wait, Jason. Okay, little kids, you want to stay here? No? What do you want to do? Play games? Yeah! You want to play games? Let's go. Let's go. Make a line.
Today we're going to be going to Mexico today. So, in Mexico, what language do they speak? Spanish. Good job. So, in Mexico, Mexico is one of the closest neighbors to us. There are 4 states that border Mexico. Does anybody know what the 4 states are? Can you guys guess? What's the state we live in? Yeah, so California is one of them. The second one is Arizona. Then New Mexico and Texas. And did you guys know Texas was the state that was a part of the country Mexico? Did anybody know that? Yes! You did? But today we are going to be going to a town of Santa Cruz, which is way down in the south part of Mexico. So does everybody know where Mexico is on the map? Yeah? So Mexico, okay. Mexico is right down there. So here is California right here, and then Mexico borders it right there. So it's really close to us, huh? Okay, and like, so the children there, they like to go to school. They like to do activities and learn about other countries, just like we're doing here. And they love to play soccer, dance, and sing. And they like to go to Bible school as well. So the kind of food that they eat is they eat tortillas. Tortillas are similar to our rotis, right? So they're kind of like us. So they eat corn tortillas and lots of fruits, fresh fruits, because they grow these things easily in their climate. Now, we're learning about water. How do you guys think the water is there? Bad. Yeah, the water's not good there. The water that comes to their community is contaminated with the germs that make boys and girls very, very sick. It's dangerous, so the boys and girls have to be very careful with their water. So that's all I have for today's story. Now, can everybody, how do we say hello in Spanish? Hello. Good job. Do you guys know how to say goodbye? Do you guys know how to say goodbye, friends? Adios, amigos. Adios, amigos. Can everybody say it? Adios, amigos. Good job. All right.
Okay. Today we're going to do a little bit different today. So we all going to sit here. We don't need to go to the room today and listen to the story. So, Uncle and Vicky's here.
Vicky's excited. No. Set up inside the room. You've got the slides and everything.
Oh.
Instead of showing on the TV, you've got the slideshow right.
Oh, can you show right here? Peace like a river. I got peace like a river in my soul. You have to do this. I got peace like a river. I got peace like a river. I got peace like a river in my soul. Okay, show me the peace sign. I got peace like a river. I got peace like a river. I got peace like a river in my soul. Okay. She said we can make the ocean this and river walk. Okay, river like this. You have to make like a wave, okay? I got peace like a river. I got peace
Like on the river, side on the river,
I got peace like
on
a
the
river.
river,
I got
peace side on the river,
I got peace
side on the river, I got peace side.
I got love like an ocean. I got love like an ocean. I got love like an ocean in my soul. I got love like an ocean. I got love like an ocean. I got love like an ocean in my soul. I got joy like a fountain. I got joy like a fountain. I got joy like a fountain in my soul. I got joy like a fountain. I got joy like a fountain.
hear a story about that? You guys want to hear a story about that? You guys don't seem excited. You guys don't want to hear a story about the flood? And how God saved my whole family from being destroyed by this great flood. Okay? So, long time ago, one day, I was wandering around in the wilderness. I actually had some issues with my wife, so I just went out to get some air. And then I started praying, and then God spoke to me. God spoke to me and asked me and told me, first he told me that the world, the people in the world are evil and wicked. They do not follow God's instructions, and they don't love God. And God was really sad about that. Because God created us to worship Him. And when we don't do that, God doesn't like that. So then He told me to build an ark. You guys know what ark is?
Yes, a giant boat.
It's a giant boat. So He told me that He was going to send a big flood.
To wipe all the world of its wickeds.
Yes, to wipe all the wicked people from this earth. And He promised me that He was going to save my family, me, my wife, my sons, and their wives. Okay? So then He told me how the ark should be and how big the ark should be. So in feet, when we look at the ark in feet, it is 500 feet long. You see that? These are some of the ship that it's compared to. And it was 80 feet wide. So 500 feet is it's very long. It's 5 football fields. Okay? So 80 feet wide and 50 feet high. Remember that. The ark was about 500 feet long, 80 feet wide, and 50 feet tall. And it took me about 80 to 100 years to build this ark. That's a long time.
80 to 100?
Yes, 80 to 100 years to build this ark. Okay? And there were 8 people in that ark. It was me, my wife, my sons, and their wives. Okay? So then, when God told me how
Noah's Ark.
okay. Then God told me how the ark should be built, right? It actually had 3 floors. The first floor was used for birds and for my family. The second floor was used for storing the food. How many of you like food? You all like food? Yes. So God said we need food. So He told us the second story should be food. Okay, and the third story, it was the bottom part, needs to be for the big animals. Like what?
Tiger, lions,
Yes.
hippos, giraffes.
Yep. So the third story was used to hold all the animals that were big. Okay? So then God told me what kind of wood I need to build the ark and how I should build it.
Tree wood?
Yeah, cypress. So then I started building the ark, and like I already mentioned, it took me almost 80 to 100 years to build this ark. It was a long time. When God spoke to me, I was 500 years old. But then when the flood came, I was about 600 years old. So during that time is when I built the ark. And it was a long time.
How did you even live?
Because God in old days blessed people, and He didn't have an age limit. So you could live up to 1,000 years. But now, since the people are wicked and they're evil, God set a limit for us. The most we can be right now is 120 years.
120?
Yeah. Okay? So then, this is how the ark looked when it was built. You see my picture? My son took that picture. Sorry, the camera quality wasn't that good because my wife didn't want me to spend money on the camera because most of my money was spent over here.
Money?
Yeah.
I thought you bought not spend
Yeah, well, you have to buy the wood, right? So I have to buy the wood, I have to buy all the other things, you know. So then, this is how the ark looked when it was built. It was a big ark, big boat. Yeah, you have a question? What?
How much did you spend on it?
How much money did I spend on the ark? In today's value, it would be lots and lots and billions of dollars.
Alicia!
Because it was something that, you know, that took a long time to build, 80 years to build. Okay? So then, when the ark was done, I started preaching to the people. I told them, hey, look, there's going to be a great flood that's going to cover this earth. Right? That's going to cover this earth, and everybody's going to die. The only way you can be saved is if you go inside the ark.
But everyone didn't believe you.
Exactly. Because people were
Wicked.
and evil, and they didn't want to listen to God and God's voice and God's prophet. Okay? So then I preached to the people and told them, look, the great flood is coming, but they didn't listen to me. They didn't want to listen to me. So then
Every two kinds of
Then
animals.
God spoke to the animals.
And then he made them go in Noah's Ark.
Yes, you should be telling the story. Then all the animals, pair and pair, from
Female and male.
a female and male, they came to the ark and they went into the ark. Because God had spoken to them. And guess what? Animals listen to God. So then the flood came, the great
40
flood.
days and 40 nights.
Yep, 40 days and 40 nights.
Does the animal know you're speaking?
What?
Does the animals know you're speaking?
Know that I'm speaking? Animals don't know I'm speaking, but when God speaks to them, they listen. They know when God is speaking. Because God knows all the languages in the world, and including the animal language,
He even knows Mexican language.
which is Spanish. Miss Ma. Anyways, so 40 days and 40 nights, it rained and it rained and it rained. So much water. The water even came out of the ground and it filled the whole earth. The whole earth was filled with water, and everybody that was on this earth died. All the humans, all the wicked people that God mentioned. Only 8 people were saved, okay?
8?
Yes. Noah and his wife, his 3 sons and their wives. So 6 plus 8, 6 plus 2 is 8. So then the great flood lasted for 40 days and 40 nights. It rained so much, the whole earth was covered. There was no ground for anything. Okay? Yeah, so then, even though the flood lasted, the raining part and the water coming out of the ground lasted for 40 days, we were still in the ship for 371 years, or day, 371 days.
Raven and a dove.
Yes. So then, we were in the ark for 371. You know what that number is close to? How many days are in a year? Anybody know how many days are in a year?
I think I almost forgot.
Roughly 365. So it was almost a year. Even after the rain had stopped, we were in the ark for 307. Well, that's including the 40 days. So we were in the ark for 371 days.
Almost a year.
Almost a year. Over a year.
And then he sent a raven and it came back with nothing.
Yes.
Then he sent a dove, which came with an olive leaf.
Yes.
And then And then he sent the dove again, and it didn't come back this time, so that meant the dove found land.
Yes.
And then he found land.
Yep. So she basically told the story. So to check if the water had gone down, lower, and there was land, Noah sent raven first, and then he sent the dove.
The
And
raven
the third
came back
time
with nothing, and the dove came
back
back
with
with
an
an
olive
leaf,
branch.
And the dove,
The third time the dove never came back.
because he found land, that means Noah had to follow the dove when it didn't come back.
Yep. So that means there was ground. So then I landed or parked my big ark on a mountain.
Park a vehicle with no wheels.
Yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. You just land. And the water goes down and you just kind of go on the ground. So then I landed, we can say that, I guess, instead of parked, landed the ship, and we let all the animals out of the ark. And then my sons came out, and their wives came out.
And you and your wife.
And me and my wife came out. And we were so happy, and then God spoke to me again.
God's promise and a rainbow.
Yes. So God said, when he saw that it rained so much, there was so much water, God promised me that he will never destroy the earth with flood again. And he said rainbow would be the sign that shows that his promise for us. So every time you see a rainbow in the sky, that is a symbol of God's promise that he will never destroy the earth with water again. Okay? So whenever you see rainbow, that means God made a promise to me, to Noah, that he will never destroy the earth with water again. The rainbow usually comes after what?
A rainy day.
Yes, rainy day. Okay?
Or a rainy year.
And then, see, that's how I landed the boat. It was right stuck on the top of the mountain. And then we came out of the mountain, came out of the ark, and we thank God. Because everybody on the earth had died, but he saved us because we went into the ark. He saved us just as he promised. Right? So remember, there's somebody else that promises us that he's going to save us if we believe in him and we go into the ark. Who's that?
God.
Jesus does that now. Okay? Jesus promised us that if we believe in him, we would be saved and have an everlasting life. Okay? So then we thanked God. We did, like in the old days, they used to do sacrificing, right? So we sacrificed and we thank God for his mercy and love that he showed my family. Any questions? Any questions that you guys have about the flood, about the boat, about God? Anything you guys like to ask me? All right, well, I have some questions for you.
What?
How big was the boat?
About 400 feet.
500 feet.
500 feet long. How wide was it?
400? 600?
No.
500?
No.
300?
Let's go back. Look at it.
50 feet, 80 feet.
So what's 80 feet? The
Um,
width. So that's how wide it was. It was 80 feet wide, 500 feet long, and 50 feet high. And how many years did it take me to build this ark?
About 80 years.
About 80 to 100 years. That's right. That's a long time. That's a long time. But I'm old. And then how many people were in the ship or in the boat?
8.
8 people were in. Okay. So how long was the rain? How long did the rain last?
40 years. 40 days and 40 nights.
40 days and 40 nights. Exactly. Okay. How many days were I in the boat?
371.
About 371. So that's almost a year. Even after the rain stopped, I still had to float around because the whole earth was filled with what?
Water.
Water. So you guys see something? Water.
And then you sent a raven and it came back with nothing. And then you sent a dove which came back with an olive branch. And then you sent the dove again and then it didn't come back.
Okay, good. Nice. So what do you guys learn about water so far? Water gives us what? Life?
And rainbows.
Well, rainbows. In yesterday's story and day before yesterday's story, you guys learned that drinking water saved our life. But over here, what did water do?
Destroy lives?
It destroyed life. So basically, water has to listen to what God says to the water. Did you guys know that? So God can use water to do either. He can give us life, or He can either destroy life. And that's what He used water in this particular story. Okay? So you have to remember this. Wicked people will die.
But good people stay alive.
Good people will be saved. Because that's what God's promised to us. Okay, so that means how do you become good?
You could help someone. You can listen.
You can listen. You can. What else can you do?
Help someone.
You believe in Jesus.
And you can help
listen
someone.
to your what? Listen to your parents.
You could help someone.
You read the Bible.
Help someone who got hurt.
Yeah, and you follow God's instructions.
Laws.
What God tells you to do. Okay? If you follow God's instructions, you'll be saved. Good? Did you guys like the story today?
And you could believe in God's promises.
Yeah. God has so many promises for us.
And He has so many plans for us too.
Yeah. Where are the babies? Are they coming in here next? Is it time yet?
What babies? Huh?
Just wait, you guys gotta stay here. We have to see if the other groups are done. I think it was 20 minutes away from